Hey man, morning y'all. I'm back at it again, trying to, build the contents up, try to drop at least, like one or two at least every week until, we gain that traction, that momentum. But yeah, I'm here at a pickup site, trying to set my weekend up. It's Friday, the 5th. So, it's the weekend, so I'm trying to I'm here to pick up a load to get delivered. But this load is gonna get delivered tomorrow, actually on the 6th. Normally, for the most part, when you pick up loads on the weekends, on Friday, that normally get delivered on Monday for the most part. You do have some loads that the receivers is available on the weekends and stuff like that. So there's loads that you could get to deliver on the weekends. So I was able to book myself one of those loads and stuff like that. So I'm very good about that, because that way I could get a next load, which I was able to get a next load. So I'm gonna have a very good weekend, as far as doing not just one, but I'm able to do two loads for the weekend. So kind of like double up the earnings right there, and that's good. Normally, I'll pick up a load on Friday and then have it with me to go deliver for Monday. So I'll start my drive after I pick it up, and just break it down, as I approach Monday and stuff like that, depending on where I'm going, how far, how much miles, and all of that stuff. Or if I pick it up, I always try to get a load that's going to take me home, so that way I could go home and rest and do my thing and all that stuff. But yeah, right now, down here, I'm in Texas right now. Actually, I've been in Texas since yesterday. Yesterday was what, the 4th. Yeah, I did a run come down here into Texas. So I'm here right now to pick up this load. Actually, this load right here that I'm doing, I'm at it's like a airport strip, actually. Yeah, and the type of commodity it is to pick up, it's actually seats for the airline. I think it's for Boeing Airlines. Yeah, it's the plane seats for the Boeing airline. I actually went inside. I checked in already, but it's not fully ready as yet. So they tell me just to wait a little while, and they'll notify me as to when they're gonna start to load me. Hopefully it's not long, because again, sitting, time is everything. Being a owner operator and stuff like that, time is everything. I always look at it. I don't work with the time. I work against the time. Once I'm on the road, doing my loads and stuff like that. So that's just the way I looked at it and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a pretty interesting load. I like doing loads like this here and stuff like that. It's a good load. It give me insight as to how these manufacturers and all these things operate and stuff like that. And it's a very important load too. So it's dealing with aircraft and stuff like that. So when I was inside the facility to check in, I saw they got all of these machine equipments and stuff like that. With the seats computerized, I guess, testing everything. It's really on point with what I see they have going on inside there, building these seats. I think the company is actually called Stefan's. Yeah, I think that's what I saw on the entry coming in. But yeah, I'll try to maybe see if I could capture a footage When I go back inside, I'll try to see if I could do that, or maybe when my truck getting loaded or something like that, I'll try to do that. But yeah, I'm just here waiting right now for me to get loaded. Hopefully it could be soon. And then now I gotta drive down to, I don't really like to give my location as to where I'm going, you know, just, you know, safety reasons and stuff like that. But I'm gonna be taking that load to the location, and then I have a next load that I pre-booked. Pre-booked that one. Well, actually, my dispatcher booked me that load. This load that I'm on right now, I booked it this for myself this morning because, you know, the way how Texas set up, Texas is really big. It's a, you know, are the biggest states. So you know, I was like kind of like instructing them you know, what they need to do as far as, you know, finding me a load as soon as possible, as early as possible, so that way I could get loaded, start driving and stuff like that, because I was all the way up in Amarillo, Texas. I delivered a load up there yesterday. By the time I got up there, delivered a load, I guess it was a little bit too late for me to, you know, get back a load yesterday to move somewhere else. So I had to drive to down to Dallas to actually, you know, get a next load, because up in Amarillo, you know, there's not that much loads available. And the key thing is how you position yourself within this business right here. You know, it's all about your location, you know, where you have your truck position and stuff like that. You know, that's very key. So after I dropped that load off, I already know, because, you know, me and my dispatcher was in communication throughout the trip and stuff. Like as far as dispatcher, I use 2 dispatchers also. You know, I was working with one for the most part, but then I think about it, I'm like, you know, it's always not good to put all your egg in one basket. So, you know, I went me and hire a second dispatcher. You know, he's pretty good guy. You know, both of them is pretty good. He's, you know, good, no issues. And you know, that's how I have it set up. And then, you know, I got myself, you know, if I have the time and stuff like that, I could, you know, look for a load for myself. So up in Amarillo, Texas, there was nothing there. So I'm like, you know what, I'm not gonna wait until, you know, the next day to see if something might pop up. I'm not gonna do that, you know, being that it's not a hot zone for loads. So I started being proactive, and I drive down to I start to make my way over down in Dallas, cause that's you know, a lot of action is down in Dallas right there. So it was like a 5.5 hour trip to come down to Dallas, and you know, that's a lot of dead end miles. You know, 5.5 hours, that's a lot of dead end miles right there. So I'm like, wow, yeah, I don't like that. You know, I don't like that at all. You know, dead end miles meaning, you know, your truck's not loaded. You know, you ain't making no money within that 5 hours, and you're burning some gas, some fuel. So, you know, that's the thing. But anyways, I was a bit tired. I needed to get some rest too. So, what I did, out of that 5.5 hours, I drove like 2 hours, and then I stopped and shut it down for the night, and get myself, you know, get me fully rested, so I could be up and, you know, have all my energy for today and stuff like that. So I had instructed both my dispatchers, look, like you know, for today, don't wait for me to get into Dallas before you start looking loads for me. You know, like, I'm not trying to, you know, do that, because, you know, I don't want to get down there and then I have to wait, and then when I do get into Texas and they do probably find me a load, it's somewhere I probably drive past that location already, and then I probably got to turn back around and drive maybe, you know, whatever dead end it's going to be to go pick up that load, whether it might be, you know, 30 minutes, an hour, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't trying to do that because I'm already doing 5.5 hour dead end already. So I wasn't trying to get into all of that right there. So you know, I explained to them, like, you know, that was my mindset. But you see, like, with the dispatchers, just like a regular dispatcher without any experience. They do their job, you know what I mean, like that, you know, their job is to dispatch and stuff like that. But they also don't have the understanding as for a driver or a owner operator perspective that, you know, like everything matters from a business point on the driver end. And, you know, like I'm looking at it from that end because, you know, it's my business and stuff like that. You know, I'm 100% independent. I fund my business 100%. So, you know, like I got to be very strategic, very mindful, and all that stuff. So, you know, that's my reason. And I explained to them, like, I'm not trying to go into Dallas to find a load. Like, I want to be able, you guys, to find me a load on my way driving there, so that way, you know, you guys could send me the pickup location, and while I'm approaching Dallas, I could just drive right into, you know, wherever that location is gonna be and stuff like that. So you know, they were like, oh yeah, but again, you know, ain't nobody at the end of the day, ain't nobody gonna be fully responsible or care as all you gonna do with your own business. So I always have that thing in mind also and stuff like that. So, you know, so I was driving this morning, you know, I communicate with both of them, you know, communicate with both of them this morning also, like, don't wait, you know. And you know, they were like, yeah. So while I was driving, you know, I just started to be proactive also. I looked at my you know, pick up my phone and, you know, went on the load board for myself and start browsing through, and then I was able to find this load right here. And you know, I looked at it, see the mileage, the payment, was going, how much it's paying, and I saw that you know, the delivery date was for the 6th. Which I was okay with that, because like the way I kind of had planned my weekend also, but I had a second option, was to find me a load from like Dallas, going to take me all the way back up north, you know. That was a plan, but I also kept my option open to, if something good come available, I would be a little bit flexible with that also, you know. So I was able to find this load. It was good, delivering the next day, so I'm going to be, you know, pretty occupied for my weekend, which is good, and, you know, more money. And so that way, you know, I could, you know, keep things flowing, you know, keep the business flowing and stuff like that. So I was able to locate the load. I called the broker up, you know, see if it's still available, see if the load's still available. It was, you know, the broker run my MC to make sure, you know, everything is good, and I was able to get booked onto this load right here. So I ended up booked that load for this load for myself right here. So that way, you know, now the dispatcher miss out. Now they ain't gonna get no, you know, payment of that. You know, that everything's coming to me. That's, you know, because normally I pay my dispatchers a percentage, like, you know, they get like 7%. Yeah. So of every load that they book for me, and you know, so they won't get any pay for that, because, you know, I booked that load for myself. And it's, you know, that too is a little bit tricky, because, so, you know, you have, depending on who the owner operator is, you know, you have some people book every load by themselves, or, you know, you have a few people that do the dispatcher. Like, I chose the dispatching route. Like, again, it's not good to put all the eggs in one basket, even though it's my basket and stuff like that. Guys, just give me a minute. Let me just take this phone call real quick. It might be a broker. Just a minute. I'll come right back. Okay. So if you're from TQL, you know, you gotta call them and verify. Like, I have no information to provide you or anything like that. I'm nobody. Have a good day, sir. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I got a call. I don't know what's that about. You know, I'm on a load, like, you know, I already have everything lined up already. I got this random phone call. You know, in this industry, in this business, like, there, you know, you got those outside scammers, like, they be trying to, you know, do shady stuff. So you got to be very mindful of that. So I got one of those phone calls. I didn't want to take it at first. I keep seeing this call coming in, and I got the broker number and everything saved already. So if it was coming directly from them, you know, I would know. So if it's not coming from the number I've saved in my phone, it's a no-go. You know, cause you know, you have scammers will try to scam it out and, you know, mess it up. So I'm not trying to do that. Yeah. So take me away from you know, topic of conversation that I was doing. Where was I? As far as, oh yeah, the dispatchers, and I've been paying them to do it. So the reason why I do it, not to put all my eggs in one basket and stuff like that, it also goes for me also. So, like, you know, the whole mindset behind that is also like, if I'm driving or anything like that, you know, like, I want to keep moving. So, like, cause again, you gotta stop and like look for loads and, you know, like watch the load board and all that stuff. Like, I don't really, you know, not saying I don't have the time for that, but you know, time is money also. So I want to keep really moving. So, you know, if it's gonna cost me a little something extra, you know, to keep my truck spinning at all time, you know, I'm willing to do that little extra. And you know, it ain't nothing crazy that's gonna beat over the head, to be honest. At the same time, you know, you gotta give some to also gain some or even gain more. So I look at the bigger picture. So that's my reasoning also of having a dispatcher or two. And you know, as I grow my carrier fleet, my company, you know, it's just good to have those things intact. So that's the reason why I do that. And you know, yeah, that's just how it go. And then so once I deliver this load tomorrow, I got a next load that I got to pick up back right after. And I got to move that load again also. So, you know, we'll see. Let me see some guys. Hello? Yes. What are you doing? Yeah, I'm hearing you. Yeah, tell me something. Did you call like just now, because I received a call from somebody saying that you know, there was. Oh, okay. I mean, I just want to make sure, because you know, I want to make sure there's no scamming or anything like that, because you know, you have all. No, actually, I'm on site. I checked in already, but I guess it's not ready as yet. It's not 100% ready as yet. So they didn't give me a time. The lady tell me that when they're ready to load me, they'll come and get me. So right now I'm in the truck waiting right now. So they're supposed to have a time, of a specific time, because you know, I'm trying to get loaded and start to do the drive as early as possible. Yeah, just check on it for me, you know, because I'm trying to get rolling as soon as possible also. And just let me know. And excuse me about that. You could just tell your partner that you know, it's just for safety reason, because I'm very responsible, you know, with my loads and stuff like that. You know, yeah, I'm just taking caution. Okay. All right, tell him, tell him, you know, no knock, you know, I apologize, and you know, like, it's just all about, you know, making sure I cover my end and also cover you guys' end. All right. All right. Pardon me? If I'm on the well, they got two docks available right now. So like right now I kind of like halfway docked up to one of the docks. But they didn't assign me as yet. But you know, they got two docks available right now. Yeah. So, yeah. So just check on the time and let me know. All right. Yeah, excuse me, guys. So you see about that? That was the broker that I bought this load with actually called me now, because the other number I didn't know it. So I guess it's one of his I guess assistant or something like that. So, you know, he had to call me, the original person. So again, guys, you know, this industry, you gotta be very careful, and you gotta, as an owner operator especially, you know, you gotta make sure you have all the ends covered, because, you know, you lose these loads, you know, you're responsible for it. You know, you gotta pay for that. And you know, like this load that I'm doing right now, I'm pretty sure it's a very expensive load. So I'm not trying to, for no claim to go on my insurance or anything like that. You know, I got to pay for all of that stuff. Like, it's a no-go. So it's always good to be aware, you know, take the extra security measures just to make sure you're on point, and just not taking any call, giving out any information or anything like that. So that's one thing within the business. I'll let you guys know, so that way for anyone, you know, in the business already or trying to come in, you know, these are little tips to be aware of. But yeah, so gotta pick up, drop this load off tomorrow on the 6th, then pick up a next load, and then that load is gonna get delivered on Monday. You know, that load will get delivered on Monday, and then, you know, I continue the rest of my week. So that's what it is, guys. You know, so I just wanted to, you know, touch base with the YouTube space a little bit. You know, I think it's my 3rd video I'm doing. The other 2 video, the volume, like the audio wasn't that great, so I'm trying to, you know, work on that, get it better. I need to get myself a mic, so that way, you know, the audio could be, you know, better. But like I said, I'm young, I'm to this YouTube, I'm new to it. So you know, and for me, I'm trying to do this you know, authentic. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to, it's no editing or anything like that. Like, the way how I do this video is the way I'm gonna post it. And you know, I'm just gonna bring you guys, you know, true authentic videos. And you know, and I hope, you know, you guys could appreciate it too, and, you know, also understand it. Not saying that, you know, along the line I won't, you know, get better, or you know, trying to do it, you know, the way the other I guess professional do it. But I'm trying to keep a bit of authenticity within my videos also. And you know, like the goal for this, like I tell you, like I just started, you know, doing a YouTube thing. So I want to carry you guys along my journey as far as the owner app. You know, like I said in my last video, I started, you know, I've been an owner operator since February, and it had its ups and downs. You know, I'm still in the game. There's a lot of challenges that come with it, but, you know, I'm still able to hang on to it. You know, I don't give up that easy, but there's some challenge in the beginning to start with. And, you know, even still, you know, like, but you know, the more the longer it is, I'm learning more, you know, get you know, understand it better. You know, building relationships, that's key, building relationships with brokers and stuff like that, you know, shippers, receivers, you know, all of that stuff. Because, you know, later down, you just, you know, it's always good to have, you know, a good reputation between all parties that you're networking with. And, you know, so that way, you know, recommendation could go around, or a broker can remember the work you did with them, you know, moving the loads, you know, because also a trust factor. I could tell you into this business, a trust factor is a big thing. You know, brokers got to be able to trust you, rely on you, and stuff like that. You know, so it's all about having good relationship and stuff like that. So I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. Like I say, you know, like I'm doing this just to you know, just to give insight and about, you know, my own journey doing it. And also you know, for anybody that's going to watch my video or watching my videos, they could you know, see and have an idea what it is. If they want to, you know, ask any questions in the comments department, you're free to do it. You know, I share, you know, all my experience, whatever challenges or anything like that, and like whatever mistake I make in the beginning, because I did make some, you know, like I'll make it where if somebody trying to come into to the business in the industry, you know, I'll use my mistake as the corrections for others, so that way you know, it could be, you know, a better transition for new people coming in. You know, like I'm willing to share that, because at the end of the day, you know, like you know, people supposed to have success, and especially if you know, doing your own business, starting your own business, coming in, you know, I'm all for that. You know, I wouldn't be selfish and be like, nah, I'm not gonna share, you know, my down experience with others, so that way, you know, they gotta learn. No, I don't have that mindset. You know, whatever down experience that I experience, I'm willing to share it, so that way the other owner operator can use it in a better form, and you know, to actually, you know, avoid that that challenge or that obstacle. That's what it's supposed to be, and stuff like that. But yeah, you know, it's good overall. I like it, you know, going, you know, traveling, you know, for different places, different states and stuff like that. You know, you dictate, you know, as to where you want to go, your rates, how long you want to be out for, you know, like that's like the perk that comes with also, you know, having your own authority also. You know, so like I said, it does depend on how one look at it, and the pros and the cons. You know, not everything gonna be 100% you know, smooth. I could tell you that much in business, or in just in life overall. So it's just all about you dissect things and how you set up stuff, and you know, and if you have the belief at the end of the day that, you know, you want to grow your business and things gonna go good, you know, like that's what it is. But yeah, man. So along with that, you know, just if you like the video, you could leave a like, subscribe to it also. I'm at like 33 subscribers right now. I need to get to a goal of like 50 subscribers to actually start going live, and that right there, I'm trying to get to that that milestone, that 50 milestone is very important to me. So all that 33 subscribers that I have already, I appreciate you guys. I have a note of you guys already, and you know, for the next 27 subscribers, so I have 33 subscribers. So for the next 23 that's gonna come aboard, 27 that's gonna come aboard to help me to get to that right there, you know, like that would be like a special little, you know, little milestone for me, so that way I could start to also go live, and I could give you guys, you know, a live insight as to when I'm doing my loads and, you know, stuff like that. You know, we could go live together, so that you guys could see you know, get more of a you guys could get more of an insight as to my day-to-day travels and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's the goal. And like I said, man, we're keeping it authentic. You know, that's the main thing. You know, so like again, man, you know, like and subscribe to the video, and if you find it interesting, you could also share it, you know, with others if you like. I appreciate it. All right, we out. A&T Trucking, man. All right.